Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here for AxodysFC on a blustery day in the Pacific Northwest. Not a good outcome for the Carabao Cup. The Fulham ends up winning on penalties 5-3, rather than making just a few changes like I had hoped. Ange went ahead and did a wholesale refresh of the team, picked 9 new players from the most recent starting 11, left Richarlison and Van der Ven, and perhaps not too unexpectedly, we struggled. Fulham looked much more in control in the first half, and a lot of mishandled passes and lack of cohesion on our offense really forced a bad outcome going into the halftime, and Fulham was able to score, keep the pressure up, had some good chances, finally got an own goal off Van der Ven off his back heel. Overall, I thought Fraser Forster in goal was pretty good during the game itself, but other players wise, was there really anything? I thought Richie was okay, but we were just so lost in the midfield. Emerson was poor at the right back spot. Ben Davies, not good either. And so, basically we went into half down 1, looking pretty poor. The only sub at the half was for Lo Celso, who was, very poor himself. Surprising. I'm trying to think. That was that was our midfield versus Barcelona, right? Lo Celso, Højbjerg, and Skip. They were terrible, really, compared to what we've been seeing today. And very, very frustrating. A lot of misplaced passes, and not any of the teamwork and ball movement that we've seen. A lot, too much one pass, hold on to the ball, and not know what you're going to do with it next. And and Fulham, had a good plan to their credit. And so anyway, after the half, in a quite surprising first substitution, it was Scarlett coming in for Lo Celso, and then essentially we moved to a 2-4-4, I think, which we have not seen to date at all. And I thought Scarlett was fine, actually. No complaints about him. Perisic was okay, actually, of the starters, but and ultimately he connected with Richie for a nice cross and headed finish when Fulham was down to 10 players briefly, while one of their players had to go retrieve a shoe from the boot room, essentially, because apparently his one had split or something. It was unusable, unwearable. And so, it's fortunate in a way that we were in a situation where we could get to penalties. We had much better play once Son, Madison, and Kulusevski all came in. But too little, too late, and just a very frustrating game to watch overall. The penalty scenario was equally baffling. First two good choices for us in terms of, I believe we led with Son. Kulusevski was second. They both took care of business, no problem. Then inexplicably, our third penalty taker was Sanchez, and he hadn't had a good game, for one thing, and I mean, credit to him for stepping up to do it, but it's inexplicable to me that it wasn't either Scarlett, Højbjerg, or Sarr before him. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Even actually Van der Ven probably before Sanchez. But Scarlett, in my mind, you are a striker. You want to play on the first team, you've got to be able to do that. So third spot is probably the easiest pressure-wise in my mind. That would be the spot for him to take it. Why he didn't, I don't know. Fourth spot was Madison. He hit it, and that was fine. But at that point, they just had to hit one more, hit their fifth one, and they did, because Fraser Forster was not very threatening or imposing, I should say, as a goalkeeper, and they had no problems whatsoever shooting around him. His mobility very very limited, and so this is definitely Ange's first real big mistake, and it'll be interesting to see how we do in the weekend. I think it puts more pressure on us to get that game right. If we take care of business against Burnley heading into the international break, it's fine, but to be out of the Carabao Cup this early, all those missed potential games, very disappointing. And I just don't understand why we rotated that much and then didn't sub in earlier when we saw how it was going. I feel like, we should have won going away with our regular group, and clearly we're prioritizing league games right now. And so this just leaves the FA Cup, and hopefully hopefully we've learned some things, and Ange has learned some things, and we've got some more players coming in, because I think our squad players are good enough in small batches, but there's no way you can do a rotation like we did today and be successful with this group. So hopefully lesson learned, and I'm ready to move on and get back to Premier League games. So Burnley next up, take care of business, and we'll all leave with a much better taste in our mouth. But if it goes bad, people are going to be all the love I've just been feeling so far out the window. So anyway, what a bummer. But thanks again for tuning in. Hope you've been enjoying these, and hopefully we'll have some good times ahead. So like and subscribe, leave a comment, complain some about today's game if you feel like it, and I'll talk to you again soon. And remember, to dare is to do.